You're listening to the Spirit Podcast.
Welcome back, spirit seekers and lovers of the strange and unusual. You're listening to the Spirit. If you're new here, welcome to our world and prepare for your descent deep down the rabbit hole of possibilities. I'm Rachel, and I'll be guiding us through tonight's episode as host for this one. And of course, I'm joined by Beck and her gifts of repartee and psychic ability.
Hey, Rach, this is a nice little switch up.
And I'm excited to deep dive into today's episode as it was a requested topic of a client of mine, actually. It's all about twins and the supernatural.
I actually am dating a twin.
A Gemini twin.
A twin.
Yes. How fun. Well, speaking of that, have you ever known any twins that seem to have kind of strange psychic connection? Or do you think there's something truly otherworldly about the twin bond?
I think there is something to this. I don't know if they're all, that psychically connected, but there's definitely got to be something tied into sharing a womb at the same time together and coming into the world together.
Well, let's dive right in. Let's talk a little about twin telepathy. One of the most commonly reported supernatural experiences between twins is telepathy. It's an uncanny sense of knowing what the other is thinking, feeling, or experiencing, even miles apart. Science hasn't quite explained it, but the stories are hard to ignore.
Yeah, there's been countless documented accounts showing twins finishing each other's sentences, feeling each other's pain, and knowing when the other's in danger. And often it's even from miles away. There's even identical twins, like the Jim twins that were separated at birth, who still lived nearly identical lives, jobs, habits, pet names, and even wives with the same name.
That is really strange. Then we have the identical twins, Gemma and Leanne from the UK, were living in separate cities. One night, Leanne suddenly felt a sharp pain in her chest and a wave of panic. Minutes later, she got a phone call. Gemma had been in a serious car accident at the exact time Leanne felt the pain. Neither could explain it, but both felt it wasn't the first time they had shared something without speaking. Have you personally ever had a moment where you felt something you couldn't explain at the exact time someone else was in danger or distress?
I think so. I think it happens often, but I don't know if I could come up with one example right off the top of my head. But I feel it. I feel it like a ripple that kind of goes across the ethers into my chest.
Like sometimes you have anxiety for no reason?
Yeah. What about you, Rach? Have you felt that?
There are times when I have had a sense of dread or panic and I didn't know where it was coming from. And then I get a phone call from somebody close to me who is very upset. And it's nice because it's like, okay, I'm not just going crazy for no reason. I'm feeling the energy of people I'm connected to. Especially happens with my sister in particular. Let's talk about this shared dream between twin brothers, Michael and David, raised in different households after adoption, found each other as adults. When they first met, they realized they had been having the same reoccurring dream for years, walking through a misty forest and hearing the same female voice calling their names. They each believed it was a dream about a mother they had never known. When they finally found a photo of her, she matched the woman in the dream. What do you think, Beck? Shared DNA or shared spirit? Could dreams be a meeting place between twin souls?
That's a good question. Actually, I've heard of numerous twins reported dreaming the same dreams on the same nights, often with vivid symbols, shared guides, mutual dream experiences where they meet each other. Some believe their twin is part of their dreamworld guidance team. There was a Reddit account where a woman dreamed her twin died in a war-torn landscape, only to wake and find that her sister had been in a near-fatal accident that night. She claimed a spirit being in the dream told her, "You'll walk for both now." So I don't know, are twins spiritually linked in the astral? What does it mean when one walks between worlds and the other stays behind?
Something really odd with the twin experience.
Then we have the silent twin mystery. June and Jennifer Gibbons, known as the Silent Twins, were twin sisters who only spoke to each other and wrote eerie, prophetic fiction together. Their story has fascinated researchers and inspired books, documentaries, and even spiritual speculation about shared consciousness. Delving a little deeper on the Silent Twins, June and Jennifer Gibbons, they were located in Wales between the 1970s and 1990s. These twins spoke only to each other. They wrote dark fiction and often mirrored one another's movements like eerie reflections. That's so creepy. When they were separated in psychiatric care, they became catatonic. They once told therapists one of them had to die so the other could be free. Shortly after, Jennifer died under mysterious circumstances, a sudden heart inflammation with no cause ever to be found. So it begs the question, when does twin closeness become spiritual entanglement? And is it possible that one twin can release the other one through death?
Oh, it gets a little sacrificey. I don't know. You're dating a twin, so hopefully it doesn't go down that road. Let's get into some secret twin languages, also known as cryptophasia. Beyond finishing each other's sentences, some twins create entirely unique languages, what researchers call cryptophasia. These languages are often indecipherable to anyone else. But what if they aren't just babble? What if they're a shared code from a deeper place or even a past life?
Do you think twins come in as guardians for each other, or are they both here to learn contrast?
It's almost as if they weren't able to come in alone, as if they needed each other.
Yeah, that actually leads me into some theories. There's a split soul theory. Some esoteric teachings suggest twins may come from a split soul origin, incarnating together to fulfill karmic or ancestral healing. Two souls who chose to walk side by side, or one soul choosing to experience life in stereo. When I looked into my partner and her twin, I ended up finding some really interesting things that esoterically, it was like she had a soul contract with him that they were not going to be coming into this world alone. They were going to come in together and share that experience, just like you said. And I think that's really fascinating. But also, what a punk. Come in like the rest of us and scream.
Well, let me tell you about the case in the 1970s. A pair of identical twins from Sweden became known for speaking a language that experts could not categorize. Linguists studied them and confirmed it wasn't a blend of known languages or gibberish. It had internal rules, grammar, and structure. The strangest part, the girls claimed they had always known the language and didn't remember creating it. One of them once told a teacher, "We spoke it before we were here." What do you think about that? Could twins carry a memory or language over from a past incarnation or even from somewhere beyond Earth?
Hell yeah. I think so. Why not? I mean, how could they formulate that with their little human twin minds? I think this was something that was blueprinted into them from a past incarnation, or maybe something ancient, like an ancient civilization, or, like you said, from some cosmic place. I think so, for sure.
A friend of mine, actually yesterday, she was showing me a video of her twin boys, and they're standing there, and one of them's just looking at him and babbling on and then cracking up, and the other one is not, he's not loving what he's saying. You can tell he is just cracking jokes about him. in their own little babble language. It was actually really fascinating just to watch that.
It's cute to see that. They have these little in common things. Even though they're their own beings, they are really super connected.
I can only imagine neither of us even have children. So the thought of having one, but to have two little children speaking their own foreign language to each other, I would be like, what the hell?
Do you think that even extends out further, like people that have triplets and quadruplets and, Kate plus 8? Do you think that?
Oh, my Lord.
Do you think that holds true for all of them as well?
Just a humming of blah, 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 blah.
Or even a general connection of them finishing each other's sentences, or them liking the same types of foods, or them liking the same things.
I guess we're going to do an episode about litters of children. Maybe one day we'll have to research that. So let's talk about the mirror room incident. Beck, I know you're going to love this story.
Oh, God, I don't like mirrors. All right. Add the twins and the mirrors, and this is a freaking nightmare scheme.
So there's a lesser known case from a 1990 psychology study where two twin girls were filmed in a mirrored playroom. As soon as they were alone, they began whispering in what sounded like a foreign language, but when it slowed down, their words sounded like reversed English. When researchers reversed the recording, they heard phrases like, "He watches us from the glass."
Oh, my God. What?
Creeped out, the study was stopped. The girls refused to speak about it again. Beck, do you think kids, especially twins, might be more connected to the other dimensions and the language is just a symptom of that connection breaking through?
I don't like this.
I know.
I don't know. Now I'm starting to think differently about twins thanks to that.
Can you imagine being the person doing that study? You just thought they were going to play in the mirror or something, and then that came out and they're like, we're shutting this down.
Yeah, I'd be going home having nightmares. Is there a fear of twins that's recorded?
The fear of twins is called didymophobia.
Didymophobia?
Didymophobia.
Well, I got didymophobia now. Thank you.
Didymophobia.
So let me talk about the Eriksson twins. Ursula and Sabina Eriksson, identical twins from Sweden, suddenly ran into traffic on the M6 motorway in England, seemingly without a reason. Did you ever see that footage, by the way? There's footage of this.
I have not.
Okay, it's super creepy. It's like they're having total manic meltdowns.
Ooh.
They claimed they were being chased. One was hit by a truck.
Oh, God.
Both survived. Hours later, Sabina fatally stabbed a man she had just met with no prior history of violence. Many speculate it was a case of folie à deux, shared psychosis, but some theorists believe it may have been a spiritual interference or trauma-linked possession event between linked souls. Could twins not only share thoughts, but delusions? And if so, what if the delusion wasn't theirs?
That is really peculiar. What the hell?
Are you starting to have didiophobia or whatever now?
I'm getting a little didiophobia. That's also could be the fear of baby oil, by the way. So there's one common thread in twin language cases. That is, the language often disappears as they grow older and become more socially integrated. Some twins say they forget it completely, like waking from a dream. Others say it never felt like they learned it. It was simply always there. And then one day, gone. Is that loss just a normal brain development? Or could it be that we slowly lose access to deeper forms of connection as we grow up?
That sounds like the classic child seeing a ghost, talking to a ghost, seeing grandma before the age of 3 type of situation to me. I feel like if they're losing it and it was something that was established, it goes a little further to me in my belief than just like a gibberish language that the kid's making up, especially if they're sharing it as twins.
They were supposed to be able to communicate with each other. And it's strange that it's only for twins, because if you have siblings that maybe are Irish twins, like what, that's like a year apart, right?
Oh, I didn't know that. That's the name of it? Irish twins? Oh,
Irish
okay.
twins. They don't have that same thing.
I'm kind of an Irish twin with my brother, and I don't have that. And I'm literally Irish.
But it's interesting because the client of mine, he has twins, and he said that even if they have a long period of time that they don't see each other, they have to get together and they have to go in a separate room and just have their own little communications back and forth to each other.
I don't think I could raise twins.
I'd be exhausted.
It would be exhausting. But also, isn't there some kind of weird supernatural aspect to this?
Yeah.
Hey, Spirit Seekers. Enjoying the show? Make sure to like, follow, and subscribe to the Spirit. If you could you leave us a review on Apple or Spotify and share the love? We drop a new video every week over on our YouTube channel, covering paranormal, conspiracy, high strangeness, and more. Have questions or you want to share your own spooky story? Drop us a line at tothespiritpod@gmail.com. Stay spirited.
So even when twins live separate lives, stories abound of one twin suddenly feeling the pain, illness, or emotional distress of the other, sometimes at the exact moment it's happening. Is this just coincidence or something more like energetic entanglement?
There's got to be something more to that. I don't feel my brother's pain. Do you feel your sister's pain?
When she's very upset, I feel that.
Like
And-
emotionally, you feel it.
Actually, there was a really crazy phenomenon that my mother, my sister, and I all shared. Even while she was in different states, we all would get migraines at the same time. And we'd all message each other and be like, do you have a migraine? Yep, I have one. I have one. And we'd all have them at the same time.
That couldn't have been barometric air pressure.
I mean, one's in Florida.
Well, we're still on the East Coast, though. Yeah, it's interesting because I know my partner and her twin, when he had a knee surgery, I think he had some sort of accident. She felt it. She was having problems with her knees. And I have never had that with my sibling. However, I've had hereditary things that have kicked in, like I have reflex sympathetic dystrophy, and he had an accident as well on his ankle. Really weird that we both had ankle accidents, and he showed complete signs of having that. However, he was able to get through it better than I was. His mindset was different. He was able to get through it and be able to walk. It still wasn't a quick recovery, but same thing with hemochromatosis. We both carry that genetic where we have a buildup of too much ferritin in the blood. However, I'm not aware of things going on like that. So it's interesting that you and your sister and your family have that.
We all have a little bit of whatever that psychic connection too. So the migraines, and I'm sure Schumann and all that have a connection, but back then I knew nothing about the Schumann resonance, but I bet that had a connection to it as well.
Interesting.
Let's talk about a stomach pain connection. A twin in Chicago doubled over in severe abdominal pain out of nowhere, only later to find out that at the same moment her sister across the country was undergoing emergency surgery for appendicitis. She had no prior symptoms. The pain disappeared the moment her sister came out of surgery.
Is it spiritual or is it physiological? I mean, how does that work?
Right. Do you think it's possible that they share an energetic blueprint and when one is out of balance, the other literally feels it?
Maybe it is a mirror.
Your favorite. They really are like mirrors. There's also the phantom injury. A brother reported a burning sensation on his left arm at the same time his twin was in a motorcycle accident in another state. He later learned his brother had badly burned that exact arm. The sensation faded within hours, but left him shaken. He described it as feeling like someone else's pain in my skin. What do you make of this, Beck? Is this a psychic empathy, or is something even more mysterious going on here?
I think it is a psychic empathy. This is beyond our comprehension or understanding. I think this has to be something that was sat down in the ethers and discussed.
Yeah.
We're going to come in and this is going to happen. And yeah.
All right, Beck. Now get ready for this one. The death dream.
Oh boy.
This chilling account involves fraternal twin sisters. One had a vivid dream of the other drowning, woke up screaming, and hours later got the call that her sister had drowned in a boating accident. Very sad. She later said the water in her lungs felt real in the dream, and for days afterward she felt short of breath. Now, do you think there's a moment, especially around death, where that twin connection becomes the strongest, like a soul calling out before it lets go?
Yes, I do. I do. And it reminds me of that one Reddit account I read earlier about the woman who dreamed her twin died in that war-torn landscape and then woke up to find out that she had been in that near fatal accident that night. So yeah, I'm going to say yeah. Simple. Yes.
This is some food for thought. What do you think is a deeper grief? The loss of a child or the loss of your twin?
I don't know if you can compare that because
I
the
know.
loss of a child is some really, I mean, I have friends that have gone through that and it is just never-ending grief. I don't know. I don't know if you can even compare it.
I don't know any twins that have lost a twin personally. And I think that would be interesting to talk to somebody, especially us being empaths, who would definitely really pick up on that level of grief.
There's definitely been cases of twins that have absorbed the other twin in the womb.
Yeah, there's a movie about that. The movie The Eye, I think it is.
It's called The Eye.
I think it's The Eye. It's like she was a twin. I think Jessica Alba is in it, or maybe that was another one. I'm getting them confused. But there's one that she was actually a twin and she didn't know it. And the spirit of the twin that died in the womb wanted to take over her body.
Oh, okay. This is ringing a bell. I think I've seen that movie now that you're speaking about it.
I just looked it up. It's called The Unborn.
Okay. Are there statistics showing that twins tend to pass around the same time as one another, or do they pass separately, or do we know any of that?
No, I don't have any statistics on that, but...
Where's our statistic person?
Yeah.
Could you...
Frank? While there isn't a precise universally agreed upon statistic, research suggests that a significant number of twins die within a few years of their twin's death.
Interesting. Thanks, Frank.
Especially identical twins.
Okay. Frank's not on the payroll yet. He's got to get a little quicker.
Let's get a little paranormal with these twins.
Oh, we haven't got paranormal yet with the mirrors and whatnot?
Let's get
and
a
the
little
pedophilia?
We're going to go a little bit farther beyond the veil now.
Great.
So prepare. Get your sage.
My holy water and my cross and everything.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ring a bell. Some twin stories go far beyond intuition. They speak of ghosts, reincarnation, and even shared souls that return again and again. These tales challenge our understanding of life, death, and identity, suggesting that twins may not just be born together, but reborn together, lifetime after lifetime.
Is it possible for a soul or even two souls to return through another set of twins? The Pollock Twins case baffled scientists and spiritualists alike for decades.
The Pollock Twins. Reincarnation? One of the most famous twin reincarnation stories involves Joanna and Jacqueline Pollock, two young sisters who died in a car crash in 1957. A year later, their mother gave birth to twin girls, Jennifer and Jillian. As they grew, the twins began identifying toys and places they'd never seen before, but that belonged to their deceased sisters. Jennifer even had a birthmark in the same place Jacqueline had a scar. Many believe they were their sisters, reborn. Do you think it's possible for a soul to return in two bodies, or maybe two souls that are just bound across time?
That's fascinating with the soul returning in two bodies. I don't know. I don't think you can split a soul like that. I think there's people that come into this life fragmented and broken or looped or echoes of themselves, but I don't know if you can technically split a soul like that. Now, we know that our higher selves are split from us, kind of in the ethers, tied within us. Maybe they didn't finish their soul contract in their previous incarnation, and so they had to do it again.
That's really interesting to think about. Things that go on beyond the veil. Some of it is just so beyond our understanding. There's so many possibilities.
I think we need to talk about the twin flame versus the twin soul misconception. Not all twin flames are literal twins, but literal twins often embody dual flame dynamics, mirror opposites that reflect and refine each other. Do you believe that all twins have a shared mission, or if they sometimes incarnate to challenge each other into growth?
I'm sure there are some pretty opposing twins out there that are equal and opposite at the same time. There are many out there that really complement each other, but I'm sure there's ones that they are there to challenge them.
I think we all have twin flames. Sometimes we don't incarnate together. One stays on the other side to kind of guide and be a mirror. It's interesting. Then you've got the twin births as portals. In many indigenous and African traditions, twins are believed to be portals between worlds. And after what we've talked about, I'm pretty sure that's true.
Oh, yeah.
Beings who straddle the line between spirit and form. The Yoruba people revere twins called Ibiji and believe they bring spiritual blessings or curses if dishonored.
Oh.
Yeah, it's interesting how people around the world view twins. And then there's the split souls theory. The thing you spoke about earlier about coming in and walking side by side, or one soul choosing to experience life in two bodies. There are esoteric teachings that suggest that twins may come from a split soul origin, incarnating together to fulfill karmic or ancestral healing.
So let's talk about the haunted twin. A lesser-known case of twin boys in Kentucky. After one twin died suddenly of an illness, the surviving brother began waking up at that magical time, 3:33 a.m., screaming. He claimed his brother was in the mirror, calling to him. Mirrors in the house began cracking or fogging without cause.
Here we go with the mirrors again.
Eventually, a psychic claimed the spirit of the deceased twin hadn't moved on. He didn't know he was dead, and he was trying to reunite. What's your take on this one? Can grief or an intense bond keep a spirit earthbound, especially between twins?
Why not? It happens with people that aren't twins. And mirrors are portals, right?
Absolutely.
But that could be one hell of a horror movie, I'll tell you that.
Speaking of horror movie, then we also have the possessed twin. A case from the 1980s involved twin girls in Argentina. After a car accident left one twin brain dead, the surviving sister began speaking in her voice and using phrases only the other would say. Family members claimed it was like she came back through her sister's body. The surviving twin later said, "I don't feel like I'm alone in here anymore." That's unsettling. Do you think this is a spiritual possession, or could it be soul merging, something that only happens between twins?
I feel like that's more of a possession, but what do I know? I don't know. Doesn't that seem more possession-y to you?
It doesn't seem comfortable. I don't think.
No.
I think they weren't meant to share the body. I think it's got to go.
Another good movie, yeah. Another good movie.
So, throughout history, twins have occupied a strange space in myth and culture. In some traditions, they are seen as powerful beings, divine mirrors, or cosmic opposites. In others, they're feared as omens of imbalance, portals to the other world, or harbingers of supernatural events. So, let's dive into the legends and lore.
It doesn't get any scarier than it gets scarier, or...
Yeah, we're diving. I told everybody to prepare because this was a descent.
Okay, I'm ready. I'm strapped in. Let's go.
So there's the twin gods, Castor and Pollux, in Greek and Roman mythology. These brothers were born of the same mother, one mortal, one divine. When the mortal twin Castor died, Pollux begged Zeus to let them stay together. The result? They became the Gemini constellation, allowed to alternate between the underworld and the heavens. I love how this myth speaks to that eternal connection. Do you think twins might share something cosmic like this, a soul contract that defies even death?
There's something about Greek mythology, right? There's something to it. It came from somewhere, and usually there's a truth, a thread of truth that runs through it. So yeah, I do. And again, that goes back to my partner being a Gemini who has a twin.
Yeah. Now, there's some folklore that blurs the line between twins and doppelgangers. The idea of a spirit double that exists in another realm or dimension. In Icelandic tradition, twins were sometimes thought to be elf children born of human mothers, possessing second sight or the ability to communicate with hidden beings. Have you ever heard of the astral twins, Beck?
No.
Some believe that people can have a spiritual twin out there, even if they weren't born together.
Okay. I didn't know that was called astral twins, but I think they even have websites for this, right? Where you can find your twin anywhere in the world, where people that upload their photo and try to find their twin or doppelganger.
One of my friends back in the day showed me a picture of a girl from Adelia's catalog, and it looked exactly like me. It was freaky.
Yeah, I think we all have a twin out there.
Yeah.
And it's so weird. How does that happen? Is there just not enough people blueprints to make us all uniquely different?
Right. We're all kind of, I don't know, I see it as we're all kind of like different breeds too. So some of us do look more similar than the other.
We really are in a matrix, aren't we?
We are.
We're like living a simulation.
Well, across all these stories, myth, paranormal, psychic, we keep circling the same truth. Twins seem to share something deeper than just genetics. Whether it's a shared past life, a soul split in two, or a divine echo, there's something sacred and strange about their connection. Something that just might be supernatural. Thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive into the mysterious world of twins and the supernatural. From the secret languages and shared pains to hauntings and ancient myths, it's clear that twins hold a unique place in both the physical and spiritual realms. Whether you're a twin, no twins, or simply fascinated by their bond, we hope this episode has opened a door to wonder and curiosity, reminding us all that some connections transcend time, space, and even reality itself. As always, stay curious
And keep your third eye open to the realms beyond the veil.
To the spirit Podcast.
Supernatural science.
Aliens.
I'm ghost.
Psychic.
Mystic.
Spirits.
Divine source.
Heaven.
It's magic.